Good afternoon. It is 4 p.m. here in South Korea. I am Arirang News. AI anchor, Arirang. South Korea's auto exports boomed in January, breaking records and becoming the country's main export sector. According to the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Energy on Wednesday, the total value of auto exports reached $6.2 billion in January, with 245,000 units shipped overseas. The value of the exports is the highest sum for any month of January on record. It is also the first time since 2015 that the number of vehicles exported in January surpassed 240,000. Strong performance in the auto sector was cited as the main reason why South Korea was able to log a trade surplus for January. At the National Assembly this morning, the ruling People Power Party's floor leader Yoon delivered a speech to the whole assembly. Yoon said that in the new parliament, after the general election, the administration and the PPP will push for reforms in areas affecting people's livelihoods. Those plans include reforms in areas of labor, economy and finance, regional growth, and policies for overcoming the low birth rate. Yoon also emphasized the need for political reforms, saying that it's the role of politics to fix old systems and narrow divisions in society. This speech comes with less than 50 days until the general election and a day after the main opposition Democratic Party floor leader Jae-ok addressed the parliament. The U.S. has reaffirmed cautious support for North Korea's diplomatic outreach to Japan. The Pentagon's deputy spokesperson Sabrina Singh said Tuesday that Washington would welcome talks if they lead to regional stability. Separately, U.S. State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller also noted Pyongyang's offer to engage with Tokyo, but reiterated Washington's goal of achieving the full denuclearization of the Korean peninsula. Last week, the North Korean leader's sister Kim Yo-jong suggested that Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida might be able to visit the North, on the condition that Tokyo does not take issue with the regime's right to self-defense and leaves the past abduction of Japanese citizens off the table. The U.S. once again vetoed calls for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza at the UN Security Council on Tuesday. 13 countries of the 15-member UN body voted in favor of an Algeria-led UNSC draft resolution, while the UK abstained. But as a permanent member, the U.S. has veto power. Washington argued that the draft resolution would jeopardize ongoing talks to end the war in the region. Meanwhile, the U.S. proposed its own draft urging a temporary ceasefire as soon as is practicable, also adding that such a ceasefire should take place on the condition that all hostages are released. The mother of Alexei Navalny, a long-standing critic of Vladimir Putin who died in a remote prison last week, pleaded with the Russian president to return her son's body in a YouTube video. Navalny's team believes that the campaigner was murdered on the orders of Vladimir Putin, and that his body is being withheld so that Russian officials can cover traces. Western governments have also blamed the Kremlin, with the United States pressing for complete transparency. U.S. President Joe Biden announced a new wave of sanctions against Russia to be implemented on Friday in light of this development and the ongoing war in Ukraine. That is all for today. Thanks for watching.